Yeah, well, what's been happening is, I suppose, my first feeling of I amness was initiated by this person I was telling you about, Adida Samraj, and that led me to look into him further, go and meet him, became a devotee, and he died maybe 6 years ago now, and I've been kind of looking at other things. Muji turned up, and then just this morning, which is strange that I'm talking to you now, but I found you kind of this morning and talking about the same thing, which is, that I amness or enlightenment, but of course of no one. So I'm just in that place of, can this be done? Is it okay not to be doing the devotional practice that Adida left me with?
The thing that I will always hammer on is I will keep coming back to who's practicing. I'm not saying that practice is right or wrong. If practice is happening, that's what's happening. But who is practicing? Who was the one that was doing that practice? Who woke up and chose to practice each morning or evening or lunchtime? Who did it? Because that's where the answer is. Not that there's an answer, but that's where the questions will stop. Who's doing that practice? What is the practice?
The practice is, well, actually, it's funny because he says, I will meditate you.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was doing the practice.
So it was like you would sit and then he would meditate for you?
Yeah, the idea was, I mean, I had kind of a time of seeking, looking into everything, but I had no discipline whatsoever, so nothing would last very long. So his practice was to just look at a picture of him and sit there, and he said, I will meditate you, and that's what was kind of happening most of the time. But of course, there was the feeling that I had to make the effort to get in the room, even though I don't exist. And the practice was about getting rid of me even more. So it's that strange conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. It will happen or not happen, and neither is right or wrong.
Aha.
It feels like you are thinking by saying, okay, so the thoughts will appear. I'm going to go and practice now. And then another thought goes and goes, oh no, let's go and have breakfast. And then the thoughts, no, you must practice. You've got to do this. You said you would do this, or whatever is the thoughts are saying. The assumption is, and the energy is giving the appearance that there's actually somebody in those thoughts. But those thoughts are an appearance and creating the somebody. But how did they get thought? How did that all appear? Who did it appear from?
Habits.
That's a thought. Where did that appear from?
Just a reaction to the question.
That's a thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the truth. That's a thought.
How can I say the truth without thinking?
You can't.
Uh-huh.
You never found it in thoughts. The thoughts are an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
The truth isn't in the thoughts. Thoughts are words and sounds. It's like the sound of a bird, like the bird thinking it could find itself in its whistle. I'm in the whistle. I am the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what thoughts are. They're sounds and energies appearing.
Yeah, when Adida would open me up, I would just end up in a really high energy state, laughing my head off, but crying the next second or something. But it was all very mindless. There wasn't any thought. But I suppose when thought came back, as that went down, I would kind of look for that again, I suppose, as a kind
Yeah,
of
and that's just
pleasure.
an experience that will come and go, just like the thoughts coming and going. That isn't it either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose I'm looking for it.
Yeah, and you are it without any effort. But practice will happen or not happen, and in a way, you could say everything's practice and nothing's practice.
Mm-hmm.
You are never found in a description. The body acts, and the words describe a body, but the body is something that's just appearing. But it's appearing in absolute boundlessness, in absolute freedom, in nothingness, which is everything. This is such a great subject. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the subject. So I suppose there's just no conflict, really.
Conflict can appear, but you aren't found in conflict. There is no you.
So yeah, this feeling of I amness is becoming more and more stable, I suppose.
No, this is a lie. This is thoughts. This isn't true.
Okay.
That's a thought. Is that true? How can sounds be a truth?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds are just sounds.
Well, there was a feeling before of this state, which is different or appeared different from.
That's not true. The feeling before. That's just a thought, a feeling before. You
Uh-huh.
can't speak about yourself. You can just describe the body. This has got nothing to do with the body. I don't believe the stories.
Yeah. Suppose I'm just looking for
You're looking
stuff
to
to put
describe.
into
Yeah, you're looking
conversation.
to describe your experience. There is no experience.
Uh-huh.
This is hardcore non-duality. Most people want to keep telling the stories of who they are and their spiritual progress and where they're going, where they're going to get. All bullshit.
Yeah.
This is it. They're just sounds. It's like the bird taking seriously its tweets. A tweet, 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 tweet.
Yeah.
They're just there for practical use thoughts. They're not describing somebody. They're just describing the body for practicality. The body wants to eat.
Yeah.
The body wants to da 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 da. There's no you that's awakening.
Awakening just is.
The just isness. Yeah, or awakenings just is. I'm happy with that as well.
Huh. Okay, well, I'll sit with that.
You think you'll sit with that, but really it'll just be whatever is.
Yeah.
Oh, but very nice to talk with you. Your name's Jim?
Jim, yeah.
Jim. I was being a bit the JYM, but Jim, yes.
Yeah, that was part of letting go of the personality. I was playing around with some friends with a Ouija board, and as the spirit kept asking for me and using that spelling, so I thought, may as well take it on.
What's happening? Cool. Well, you can watch this back on YouTube. I know you're new to it, so it'll be on YouTube later, so you can watch it back. So you can actually see my speaking and my facial reactions in time.
Oh, great, yeah. That might help. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'll keep tuned in and...
yeah, call back if you've got any more questions.
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.